You are a doctor, a real one. You spent 8 years in medical school. You passed every exam. You survived every night shift. You held people's lives in your hands and you did not drop them. You are good at what you do. And tonight, you are standing at a sink in a building that does not officially exist, scrubbing your hands before a surgery that no hospital in the world would allow you to perform. The lights are bright. The tools are sterile. The room looks exactly like an operating room, but there is no license on the wall, no government registration, no insurance forms, no official record that this room, this surgery, or this patient exist at all. How did you get here? Let's go back to the beginning. You work in transplant surgery. People's organs fail, their kidneys stop working, their liver gives out, their heart weakens, and the only real cure is to replace the broken organ with a healthy one from someone else. That organ has to come from a donor, someone who died, usually in an accident, and signed a form saying, "Use what is left of me to save someone still living." It is a generous system. It is a good system. It is also completely overwhelmed. Right now, 114,000 people in the United States are sitting on a transplant waiting list. Every 10 minutes, a new name is added. And every single day, 17 people die while waiting. Not because the surgery cannot be done, simply because there are not enough donated organs to go around. You see this list every day. You see the faces behind it. The retired teacher waiting for a kidney. The father of 3 waiting for a liver. The 11-year-old boy whose mother brings him in every month, and every month you look her in the eyes and say the same thing. We are still waiting. You file the paperwork when they die. You go home. You come back the next day and do it all over again. Then one afternoon, a man named Juan walks into your clinic. Juan is in his early 50s, well-dressed, speaks carefully. He has the kind of calm that comes from being wealthy enough that most problems in his life have been solved with money. But Juan has a problem money cannot seem to fix. His pancreas has failed completely. Without a transplant, he has roughly 6 months left. He has been on the waiting list for 2 years. His name is nowhere near the top. He sits across from your desk, folds his hands, and asks a very simple question. Is there another way? You know exactly what he is asking. Every transplant surgeon knows what those 4 words mean when a wealthy, dying patient says them in a quiet room. He is not asking about clinical trials. He is not asking about experimental medicine. He is asking about the black market. You tell him it is illegal. You tell him organs obtained outside the official system are not properly screened. You tell him the surgery would happen in an unregulated facility. You tell him he could die on the table. Juan listens to everything. He nods at every point. Then he asks again, "But is there another way?" That night, you cannot stop thinking about Juan. You think about the waiting list. You think about the 17 people who died today. You think about the 11-year-old boy and his mother. And then you think about yourself. Your clinic has not been doing well. The bills are backed up. The equipment is aging. You have been practicing medicine for 15 years, and somehow you are still struggling to keep the lights on. The next morning, your phone rings. The voice is calm and professional. They heard about Juan. They heard you are skilled. They have a patient who needs help and are willing to pay generously for one night of work. They say a number. $150,000, cash, for one surgery. You do not say yes immediately, but you do not hang up either. Before you decide, you know exactly what you are getting into. The organ will not come from a registered donor. It will come from someone in a poor country, someone desperate, someone who agreed, or did not agree, to give up a piece of their body for cash. This is not a theory. National Geographic journalist Mariana Van Zeller documented this when she investigated black market organ networks. She found that cartels in Colombia specifically target migrants passing through a town called Turbo, the last stop before one of the most dangerous jungles on Earth. Tens of thousands of people pass through every year. No documents, no contacts, nobody tracking where they go. These are the people whose organs end up in networks exactly like the one calling you right now. The donor receives somewhere between $1,000 and $10,000 for their organ. That organ is then sold for $150,000 to $250,000. Someone in the middle keeps everything in between. You tell yourself the patient is dying anyway. You tell yourself the donor needed the money. You tell yourself someone else will do this surgery if you don't. You pick up the phone, you say yes. The building is private. It looks clean. Real surgical lights, real tools, real monitors beeping just like any hospital. The patient on the table is Juan. He flew here privately. He paid $500,000 for everything. The organ, the surgery, the secrecy. This is not a made-up number. This is a real figure from a real patient, documented on hidden camera by Mariana Van Zeller in her investigation into black market organ trafficking. Before you put him under, Juan looks up at you from the table. He is quiet for a moment. Then he asks one question. The donor, he says softly. They agreed to this, right? You open your mouth. Juan closes his eyes and slowly shakes his head. Don't answer that, he says. I don't want to know. And in that moment, you understand something you will carry with you for the rest of your life. Juan is not a monster. He is a man who wanted to live so badly that he stopped asking questions. You are not a monster either. You are a doctor who wanted to help and to survive badly enough to do the same. You administer the anesthetic. You pick up your scalpel. 4 hours later, Juan is alive. His vitals are stable. The organ is functioning. Someone hands you an envelope. You leave before sunrise. While Juan went home healthy, someone else paid the real price. When Mariana Van Zeller investigated networks exactly like the one you just worked for, she found a doctor, a real, licensed, practicing doctor in Mexico, who agreed to be secretly recorded. On that recording, he admitted to running blood work and compatibility tests for cartel-supplied organ donors. He admitted he knew exactly where the organs came from. And when pressed further, he admitted something even darker. He said that some donors did not volunteer. He confirmed on camera that victims are sometimes forced to give up their organs. He confirmed that murder for organs is real, not rumor, not conspiracy theory. A licensed medical professional on a hidden camera describing it as a normal part of the operation. That doctor ran his network the same way you just ran yours. He scrubbed his hands. He checked his tools. He operated. And then he went home. Now look at the full picture. The World Health Organization estimates that 10,000 black market organ transplants are performed every year around the world. That is one every single hour. Every hour of every day, somewhere on this planet, a surgery exactly like the one you just performed is happening. The global black market for human organs is worth between $840 million and $1.7 billion every year. A kidney sells for $150,000 to $250,000. The person who provided it was paid between $1,000 and $10,000, if they were paid at all. A liver sells for up to $500,000. A heart sells for over $1 million. A heart cannot come from a living donor. A heart means someone is dead. Organ trafficking networks have been formally documented in 23 countries. And the people who make all of it medically possible, the people without whom none of this works, are doctors. According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, corrupt medical professionals are involved in the majority of all documented organ trafficking cases worldwide. Not a few, not some, the majority. They are trained, they are qualified. They are in many cases respected members of their communities. They perform legitimate surgeries during the day and illegitimate ones at night. They started exactly where you started. They watched a list that never moved. They saw people die who did not have to. They got a phone call they should have ignored. They said yes because the number was large and the justification felt easy. Just like you. Juan went home. He never asked where his pancreas came from. He never wanted to know. Right now, 114,000 people are on the waiting list. 17 will die today. Tomorrow, the number resets. 17 more. And as long as those numbers do not change, the phone will keep ringing. And someone exactly like you will keep answering.